Hey everybody, J.R. Fisher here, and I wanted to take a moment and talk to you. It's here on Sunday night, and tomorrow being the last day of the year. Is that right? Something like that. Yeah, let me check that, make sure that's right. I should know that, right? I should know that. And yeah, we got New Year's coming up, okay? And since we've got New Year's coming up, I wanted to answer for you guys the three biggest questions that I get. And I get these questions all the time, and it's so funny when somebody says, I want to ask you something. I almost want to say, let me tell you, it's these three questions, right? And the three questions are, how much will it cost me to get started? How much money am I going to make? And when am I going to make this money? And it's an impossible thing to answer. But I do want to give you, before I get off this little live I'm doing right now, the thing you can do to make all those things happen. And if somebody said to me now, well, how much have you spent? Well, I've spent millions at this point, right? I've had to buy product and ads and, I spent millions of dollars. Does that mean that you need to have millions of dollars to get started to sell stuff online? No, of course not. I originally started with $100. I mean, it was $100. And that was on a credit card, so that wasn't cold hard cash. I put $100 on my credit card, and that was to buy some products, and I put them up on eBay, and that's how I got started. And I sold all kinds of stuff, and that's another thing. I also want to, before I get off of here, I want to tell you how you can find a good product to sell too, because that's super, super important. But, I started with $100. So, if you don't have a lot of money, don't let that be the obstacle. Because, so many of us were told growing up, you got to have a lot of money to make a lot of money. And that is nothing but BS. It's just not true. That is an excuse that people came up with to keep themselves from getting started. They're like, well, I can't ever be rich because, I don't have a lot of money to invest. And you got to have a lot of money. No, you don't. What you do have to do is you have to get started, and you have to start at the right spot. And the right spot is to get a product to sell, because if you don't have a product to sell, you can't get started, right? I mean, how are you going to run an ad for something you don't have? I wrote a little book on it that'll help you get started, and you can find that at jrfisherbook.com, jrfisherbook.com. But, how much you need to get started, it doesn't really matter. You need to get out there and get started. Nowadays, it's a whole lot different than when I got started. When I got started, there wasn't really that many drop shippers, and AliExpress I don't think was even around then. So you had to actually buy some product, and then you had to try to sell it and hope it sold, because to buy a product to where you could make a profit on it, you had to buy a quantity of it. So you had to buy 50 widgets or 100 widgets or whatever it was. And I sold everything from magnifying glasses to survival saws to little knives to, just anything I could, cell phone cases. And the point is, all of those things didn't make me money, but all of those things did make me money. And here's what I mean by that. They may not have made me profit on that particular item. However, they taught me something. As I got started, as I tried to sell, my little emergency hand saw, or some type of magnifying glass, or some survival tool, or my cell phone cases, I learned not always what did work, but I learned what didn't work. And believe me, that is just as important. That's just as important. Now I coach people on how to start businesses online. I help people who already have businesses going, and we go from $1 million to $2 million to $5 million, whatever it is they want to do. But it all started because I initially started with some products, and those products didn't work out. So, I don't want you to worry about that. I don't want you to worry about the fact that you've got to find this one product, and you've got to have a set amount of money to get started. And I'll have a lot of people say to me, well, I need to make, say, $10,000 in the next 60 days. And they say, can you guarantee me I'm going to make $10,000 in the next 60 days? I say, no, I can't guarantee you're going to make $1 in the next 60 days. But I can guarantee you one thing. Here's what I can guarantee you. I can guarantee you that if you don't get started, you won't make $10,000 in the next 60 days. Is it possible to make that? Sure it is. Sure it is. Of course it is. It's undoubtedly impossible to do that. But you've got to get started. And, one of the obstacles I think that people have is they just I don't have a product to sell. I want to make sure, this product is going to be popular. I want to make sure people are going to buy it. So what I've done is I put together a little book. You can get it. And yes, it costs money. It's not free, okay? So I think it costs $5.60. So you can read it in a day. It's short, like 40, 50 pages. But it's called How to Find a Profitable Product to Sell. 3 steps to find a profitable product to sell online with zero risk and no technical skills or experience. Okay, so and I said 3, it's 4 steps. That's what happens when you go live, right? It just happens. But if you get that book, that'll get you started. And guess what? I'm not going to get rich off that book because $5.60 won't make or break me today, tonight, tomorrow. But it could get you started. And if I just give it to you, if I just give you this book, well, you may not read it. But if you spend $5.60, you're more apt to read it and you're more apt to be more successful. And quite honestly, I want as many successful people, that have listened to what I said and done what I said and followed my techniques as possible. Because if I have a whole lot of those people and they start talking, they say, hey, this worked for me and this worked for me. Overall, whoops, I'm running low on battery here, guys. Overall, it's going to help me out because, then I have more people that want to buy my courses, that want to, get coaching from me, that want to do all these things. So, my goal is for you to be super, super successful. Is everybody super successful? No. Can I guarantee your success? No, I can't do that. Anybody who says they can guarantee your success is a liar. I mean, they can't do that. But I can guarantee you this. If you, let's say, grab my book and you start to look at some of the products that are out there and you start to advertise some of those products and you start to get some sales, you're going to get momentum. I know my first sale was for like $10 and I was super excited because I'm like, somebody actually sent me money. They actually gave me money for something I had out there. And I was really excited about that because the one thing I knew in the back of my head was that I could repeat that. And if I could repeat that over and over again, then, what could I get to? Since that time, which was back in 2009, we've sold millions of dollars of products online. All around the world. I mean, that's pretty cool stuff, right? And I've got courses and, I've helped people out with their coaching and done a lot of things, but it was all because I picked some products and started selling them online. So I'm really going to encourage you to do that. That's your first step, okay? If you don't know where to go from here, or if you haven't been successful so far, grab the book. Grab the book and read. It's $5.60. I've repeated that a couple times. Grab that book and read what you need to do because that book covers so many little different areas that you may not even know about. And it's going to get you thinking. And if it gets you thinking and it gets you moving in the right direction, then the momentum starts to build, right? And then if you sell a product or two, then you're going to go, oh, okay, I can sell products online. I can make money. He's right. But in your heart you can. I mean, you can. We're starting a new year. And your next year, 2019, is not going to be any different than 2018 if you don't do anything different, if you don't try something new, if you don't experiment a little bit. Today was a great day. I got up and we went out to lunch together. I was feeling a little under the weather. I said, I got to get out. I can't sit around on the couch. Went out and had a nice lunch, went to the mall, walked around a little bit. Beautiful University Town Center Mall. They've totally redone that there. If you ever get to San Diego, go to UTC, which is University Town Center Mall in La Jolla. It's just really beautiful. Spent some time over there. My wife wanted a milkshake, so we went over to Five Guys, got her a milkshake. Those are great milkshakes. And I don't get anything from Five Guys, by the way. But she really enjoyed that. And now we're just kind of chilling this evening. And I'm thinking I ought to jump on a live and, share with people something because who knows going to hear this? Maybe one person will hear it. Maybe that one person will listen and maybe that one person will get started and maybe it'll make a change in their lives. So that's what I'm doing. She's in there taking down the Christmas tree now. It's awesome that she does that. She puts it up, she decorates, she makes it Christmas here for us, and I love that. But she's doing that, and I thought, well, why she's doing that? And she's working. I ought to come share something with you. So that's what I got for you. How much will it cost you? When will you make it? And how soon will it take? You got to get started. How much will you make? I don't know. You could make millions. Here's my promise. You won't make anything if you don't get started. You got to go get a product. Go grab my book, jrfisherbook.com. Read it real quick. You'll see what I mean. You'll get the information out of it, and it really could send you in a different direction because that's how it was with me. It started with that one step of just doing something one night, saying, well, let me just try something. And that kind of snowballed to the point where we have a really nice business now and a whole bunch of different niches. And I get to teach people how to do this stuff. So anyhow, I wanted to share that with you tonight, Sunday night. And am I working? I guess I'm working, right? This is work, right? Talking and typing. One of the great guys out there that I have a lot of respect for is Frank Kern. And Frank Kern says it's really not that hard. It's just typing and talking. Just typing and talking. And in fact, I'll be honest with you, a little while ago I saw one of his live videos, and he's there on a Sunday doing a live video. And I thought, well, if Frank can do it, I can do it. I can get up there and do another live video and help you guys out some. You know, he's trying to help people, and he's got great stuff. I have a lot of admiration for him. But anyhow, guys, check it out. Check out my book, jrfisher.com, and grab the book and, heck, get started. 2019's coming. Make it different this year. You guys have a good night. I'll talk to you later.